Hola, buenas noches, mis amigos. Thank you for joining me on Friday night, our Fenndango. As you can see, the Magical Treasure Princess is not here tonight. And the reason is that she's at a day-long conference with other female entrepreneurs. And she's just working to make herself better. You know how she is. She's the Magical Treasure Princess. But I got a good night planned. We got some stuff coming up. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes talking with our mods tonight because I want them to prep out for whatever weirdness happens. Apparently the person hasn't learned their lesson. They're not doing a lot. They're not doing as much damage as they think they're doing. That's what's really weird about it. Got some emails to read. Got some text messages, etc., etc. Got a good night planned, you know? What's up, my brothers and sisters? Kahlua and cream. Nice. All right, before I do anything else, I want the mods to take a look at this. So I'm going to switch over to screenshot right here. So we started this the last time Shelley was actually doing it. Let me take it. Somebody, Davio, do not take this personally. I'm just using you as an example. All right, so let's say Davio is giving us a pain like that, like our intruder has been. You're going to click on the three dots. Can you guys see that? And before you do anything about throwing them out so that we can do anything, click on report, click on harassment and bullying, select harassment, and this is harassing me because we all take it personally, and click on report, okay? And it doesn't make any difference which names they're using. Eventually, YouTube identifies the IP and takes care of them, if you know what I mean. Like we used to say in the agency. Okay, so there we are. And that's all I have to say about that. So we just have to, there's ways to deal with them. You don't cater to them. You got to control the trolls, and that's just yet another way that YouTube provides us to control the trolls. So I don't know about you, but I'm already missing the Magical Treasure Princess. She brings a lot of light into this studio, even though we're a lit studio. She's just like a bright and shining star, and always makes me happy when she's around. Not that I'm going to be in a bad mood today, because I'm in a pretty good mood. I just got to get through 2 hours, and I have a feeling we're going to do a lot of telephone calls tonight, which should be a lot of fun. But before that, there is always
housekeeping. You want towels?
You want towels because, according to General Soleimani, without towels, you get hit by a drone strike. Remember that before you leave tonight, like this video, because YouTube likes it when you like our video, and the International Sand Collectors Society likes it when you like our video. Who knew? Huh? Who knew there was an International Sand Collectors Society? Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, and the entirety of your social network so that we can... Oh, she's not here. So that we can... Oh, this is not even going to be the same. So that we can grow the channel. Ugh. And then, of course, if you're not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to subscribe by clicking on that subscribe button. Where is she? Ooga. And then after you click on the subscribe button, re-click on the notifications bell. And that way, when we start a live stream or when we schedule a live stream, you'll be informed immediately. And in the Army Security Agency. I don't know. Let's see. A couple of things. Number one, if you want to reach out so I can see it on here. Oh, look, he's already back. Let me fix that right now. Let me fix that right now. Goodbye. 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 Hey, stupid. This isn't going to work. Nobody sees anything you're doing. Yeah, we are reporting you. Goodbye. And then we're deleting you. What's funny is that he goes through all the trouble, you know? What a dumbo. It's already taken care of. So let's just remove this. Bye. So apparently he doesn't know that he's hidden on the channel. So the problem is he thinks he sees it, but nobody else can. So he just thinks that everybody else can. If you need to reach out to me, I'm going to suggest to you that it's going to be really hard tonight, even if you highlight it as Greg Keller has done by using @ Gypsy Kiss. And the reason is it's just going to be very difficult for me to. Don't get mad. I won't get mad. I promise. I mean, you won't see me get mad like that. So it's better if you want a question asked. If you want to ask a question, use the dial-in number 202-815-1171 and just send me a text message or leave a voicemail. That's another way to do it. You can leave me a voicemail and I'll pick it up there. I'll try to watch the room, but it's just, without the MTP here, she handles that. She lets me know when things are coming up. Okay. So I think what we'll do is start with emails, and then we'll go straight to text messages. I know usually I let the MTP say hi to the folks in the room, but she's not here, and I'm just not very good at that. So that's her thing. She's good at that. Okay, so let's do the email video. Greg just noted that AGK stands for not only for a Gypsy's Kiss, but for Greg Keller. Hey, don't forget this week's giveaway. We call it it's now a package because I put in I was losing stuff. So this is the giveaway for next Wednesday. In order to qualify for this giveaway, go back to last Wednesday's video and make a comment on it, and that qualifies you. And then next Wednesday, we'll give this away. It's a nice little package. Includes a Yellowstone silver coin and a water bottle koozie and a very stylish pen with a miniature flashlight on the end, as well as one of those nubbies, a USB, 2 gigabyte USB keychain, and one of the last of our 3D bronze treasure chests. So you need to keep an eye out for that 3D bronze. Did see 3D bronze. 3D bronze, thank you for where is MTP when I need her? Thank you for the donation, and if you want to send us some more of these, please feel free, and that way we can give them away. And then if you are going to buy something from 3D Bronze at 3dbronze.com, that's the number 3, the letter D, bronze.com, please use, there's a link in the description box below, please use that link, and that way we get a commission on the sale. How cool is that? But I also want to mention, I've taken a different route on the World Sand Project. So as you guys might know, at least should know by now, the World Sand Project, we review a sample of sand from any place in the world. We're up to 13 episodes now, so we're keeping pretty busy. But what I've decided to do with them, I take these samples and I put them under a microscope, and they make really pretty pictures. So what I'm doing on the World Sand Project is I'm giving away microscopic photos of whatever sand project we're doing that day. And today we did Great Northern... it's a Great White Northern Fracking Sand. Who knew? From the heartland of Wisconsin. So I put that into a 4x6 dye sublimation print, framed it. There's the title of the print and my signature there, and we're going to give those away on Fridays. So if you want to qualify for this, you have to go to the World Sand Project episode, World Sand Project WSP sample number 13 today, the Great White Northern Fracking Sand, and make a comment. And then next Friday, so we'll do AGK drawings on Wednesday and WSP drawings on Fridays. Okay, nice little print. You can hang it or you can set it on your desk. Okay, so we're doing giveaways there too. And subscribe, become a subscriber. That would be nice. We got to get, I promised myself I was going to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, as Barbara Walters says. What about a mint for the pillow? Okay, let's do some, Sean Martinez is going to be in Santa Fe tomorrow. What's he going to be doing in Santa Fe? You're going to be visiting Dr. Fenn? Sean Martinez? Why can't that scroll down? Okay. Okay. 202-815-1171 for text messages or voicemails. We'll open up the phone lines. Let's do some emails, and I've already played the video, so I'm ahead of it. This one's from our friend Doug Carver, who resides on Prince Edward Island in Canada. So I think he's referring to the little girl in India. He says she has the poem and a good map. He said that she can get 2 clues with that. For me, this makes more questions than answers. Let's work with this. Maps of all 4 states is too big to be a good map. So I agree. So 4 state, meaning the Rocky Mountains in all 4 states, is just, it would have to be the size of a house in order to be useful. So 4 states, 4 maps. This makes sure that we will still have the search areas covered, but the treasure is small, so we can do better. It can only be in one of the 4 states, so 1 good map and 3 bad maps. 1 good map and 3 bad maps because it's only in one of the states. Let me know if you want to go with this thinking or drop it. Old paper maps are hard to find and almost as hard as the treasure. So I think you could go to the USGS and get a map of the state of New Mexico, a topographic map of the state of New Mexico, and work with that and consider that in the same way that the little girl in India. And then if you just think it's in a different state, then go with a map from that state. And like I said, you could probably go to the USGS or maybe the BLM and get a map of that state with all the topography on it. I still don't think if it's a single state, I still don't see how it's detailed enough to provide any help for you. With the especially with the first 2 clues, where warm waters halt and Canyon Down. So this is from our good friend and moderator Christy. By the way, I want to say thank you to our moderators. I know you've had a lot to put up with recently, but eventually they all go away. And that includes in the room Greg Keller, K-Pro. Let's see, is Julie in the room? Not yet. Greg Keller and K-Pro. And Greg Keller. Okay, so Greg Keller and K-Pro are in the room, but as you know, Holly and The Sassy 1962 are also moderators, as well as Toby Fan 3000, although we haven't seen him for a while, so I imagine he's busy. But we haven't taken away his wrench yet, nor will we. Nor will we. I just lost, okay, there it is. YouTube is nutty. Toby, this is from Christy. She says, can you announce on 1/11, Saturday the 11th, we are doing a 12-hour Forrest Fenn marathon. We are taking panelists, and if you want to be a panelist on that show, email Christy at kpro3@aol.com. That's kpro3. And kpro, you can type that in the room. kpro3@aol.com. The marathon will take place Pacific time, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So that would be 12 noon to 12 midnight, my time, Mountain Standard Time. You can come on individually or be part of a panel. So if you could put a panel together for an hour, they'll host the panel for you. And she hopes that Shelley and I will take a slot. I will also send you a World Series of Fenn flyer. Can you announce that? So what I did with a World Series of Fenn flyer is, I'm going to do a switch over here. Where are photos? Photos. Okay. So I put YouTube or Google. Oof. All right, let me do a screenshot here. Am I loud to you guys? I keep bouncing off the red in my monitor here. I just want to make sure I'm not too loud. But I have one of those voices. Can we walk or run the marathon? Oh, Greg, you are a riot tonight. All right, so doing a screenshot. So that is the announcement for the World Series of Fenn, which takes place on Friday, February 14th, Saturday, February 15th. Saturday, February 15th. And I've put this in our photo albums, and there's a link to this in the description box below. Actually, I will do you the additional favor of going to that link, and I'll put it in the let's see, where is it? Well, what the? Join the AGK, sign up for life coaching, donations. What did I do with that? All right, I'll put it in the room. Here, hold on. So share link, give link, copy link. Okay, download, Control V. So you can go to that link and you can download the World Series of Fenn fact sheet, I guess is the best way to call it. Has the tournament prizes, rules, participation, to-dos, etc., etc. So if you want to participate, download that and you'll have all the information you need in order to participate, okay? And then remember, so that's on the 15th, but next weekend, is it next weekend already? Today is the what? Yeah. So Saturday after tomorrow, Saturday after next, is their marathon from 12 noon to 12 midnight Mountain Standard Time. So contact Christy at Christy. Let's see. Christy is KPro 3. Okay, there. Contact her. JK Pioneers in the room, and JK won today's giveaway over at the World Sand Project. I'm going to open this up again. Ooh. So JK won today's giveaway, the 4x6 dye sublimation print. And this is the sand. This is a sand under the microscope from the Green Beach in Maui, Hawaii. So he won that. That's going to get shipped out. JK, don't forget to send me your shipping address to worldsandproject@gmail.com so I can get it shipped out this weekend. Okay. You're welcome, K-Pro. Christy. I like calling you Christy because I know you as Christy. Okay, winter time talk. This is from Smith Webb. That's Steve, isn't it? Or this is Okie Tarman. He's one of the members in our vault. That sounds funny. No? We keep people in a vault in case we get hungry. Barbecue. For Valentine's Day. I don't know, Greg, that might be a question for Christy. Sandopoly. Ooh. I'm writing that down. Sandopoly. I just got a sample from the northern tip of Scotland. Hello, Toby. So this is from Okie Tarman. Hello, Toby and Shelley. Again, love watching your show. Thank you, Okie. Sent you a few comments, texts, pics, and one email of my brother and myself sleeping under a pinon tree attached. I did see them. Not the best pic I've ever taken. However, after a long hike in that snow that day, I was feeling about as good as I looked, exhausted, and he did, and I didn't want to share that picture. I wouldn't, my rule for pictures is to take a lot of pictures and then to edit the ones out that don't make the people in the picture look good. And then I just show the good pictures. But I'm actually pretty good at taking pictures, so. Well, I've made several boots on the ground since that day last spring and have found several interesting confirmations in my search area. Attached is my first page of the several pages that I have in my scrapbook. He sent me the pages, but he had blocked out everything, so it didn't really have any information on it. I've blocked out most of them for now, mainly due to me not retrieving the treasure chest yet. Been chasing too many rabbit holes. Spell check, my brother. My last trip was my closest adventure, putting me less than 500 feet or so, I believe, from the treasure. If it wasn't for stumbling on a slippery rock and falling backward in the cold water. Maybe it could have been retrieved in 2019. The fall really wasn't that bad, but twisting my back and being wet in the cold, it was time for me to head back to the pickup. I've had those days too. Early last summer, my brother and I did get within 500 feet of the treasure chest, but we had no ideal. We had no ideal. I guess it's idea. Only a few more feet, and we might have found the chest. Since that day, solving as much of the poem as possible before returning to the area has been my goal. Truthfully, it's not been that easy, as I am sure you can relate. But 6 years, 34 boots on the ground. If there is a clue or hint in my area, I'm ready to go check it out, and there's always been more than one confirmation to every clue. So after 34 boots on the ground, he did 34 boots on the ground last year and spending 70 days in Montana, I've narrowed down my search area to less than 40 feet. By the way, in my opinion, the treasure is not in Montana. Wait, let me read that again. So after 34 boots on the ground last year and spending 70 days in Montana, I've narrowed down my search area to less than 40 feet. By the way, in my opinion, the treasure is not on Montana. I was just working near Billings last August, September, and October, and I wasn't able to return to my search area until mid-October. At that time, confirmation started falling into place, and double meanings began to appear in my solve. Only time will tell if this is the correct solve, but now I'm starting to search with confidence more and more every day. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and I was hoping to get my first anniversary gift of paper this year, title to the gold. Right. That's what he wrote. We all know that didn't happen. I'm excited to get back on the trail as soon as the weather breaks a little. Lessons learned from past experiences. I do have some great picks in my area, but for now, sharing with everyone is not an option. Hope to see you on the trail soon, Okie Tarman. I look forward to visiting with you on the trail, Okie. Let me take this picture off and see. I don't know. So I need to put that link. Give me a sec. I need to put that link for the World Series of Fenn in the description box. Could have sworn I did that. World Series of Fenn fact sheet. Linky. Control V for linky. Okay. Now it's also in the. Como se llama, the photo album. So if you're going to the World Series of Fenn, make sure you read that first. Hey, Toby and Shelley, in case you read this out, don't read my name or who I am, please. Okay, well, how am I going to do this? That's kind of long. Okay, patience, my brothers and sisters. Hi, Toby and Shelley. This is blank here. Just wanted to get your insight on something about 6 months ago. I was thinking about the poem, and after watching your show last night, my insomnia had kicked in, which usually means brooding on something. I remember a few weeks ago, Shelley had mentioned she was going for a spa day. So it got me, this is going to get interesting, I can tell. So it got me back on the idea that I had thought about. Would love to have your input. You know, I'm not U.S. or will be an active searcher. You know, I'm not, I guess, in the U.S. or will ever be an active searcher, but only trying to figure out the poem. And if it helps someone that actively searches, great. I posted this on Reddit earlier. Ye are much more knowledgeable, so I'd love to have your insight on this idea. Worst case scenario, ye go for another spa day or several! Exclamation point. She does spa days. I don't do spa days. The post went like this. Just trying to get some advice from more knowledgeable searchers, revising an older theory. Are people reading the poem wrong? I.e., the answer to that question is yes, because we don't have the treasure. So apparently we are reading the poem wrong. Or maybe we're reading the poem right, but we're interpreting it wrong. I.e., a man going to a place to die, or could it be read from the viewpoint of a dying man going someplace to try to live? Begin at where warm waters halt. It could be a reference to the cancer or pain. There are a few famous Pueblo Tiwa hot springs that are meant to be naturally healing north of Santa Fe. One is an underground cavern, but I can't find the name again, as it was ages ago I found it. SPT, I don't know what SPT stands for. Use a notebook and write everything down. Just a recommendation, I suppose, which you should do anyway. A lot of those diagnosed with terminal cancer resort to natural remedies, holistic approaches as a last resort. Could Forrest Fenn, having been terminally diagnosed and knowing the history of mythical healing waters among the other natural remedies, tried utilizing these as a last resort? Wouldn't surprise me. E.g., for example, Ojo Caliente, hot springs, spa, bathing in the multiple pools of warm waters, etc., or some of the other hot springs with which the Indians believed natural healing. Hence the place being so special. Can you see if someone was given a terminal diagnosis and use of the hot springs, etc., would make a place very special to the person that beat cancer when medical staff had wrote you off? Begin at where warm waters halt, dying cancer. So, can we read the poem from the viewpoint of a dying man wanting to live rather than a dying man wanting to die? Opinions. I don't see why. So my initial opinion, without thinking of much, is yeah, I would agree with you. And the reason is he finished the poem later on. I mean, it was another 15 years before he actually finished the poem. So he knew he was going to live. So maybe he's incorporated some of that into it, as opposed to the concept of dying, the concept of a long and fruitful life, live long and prosper, my brother. HALT is commonly used word in the medical field regarding stopping cancer. And there is even a cancer treatment called HALT. Edit. Probably best I put these here due to the amount of downvoting. Oh, that's from the Reddit thing. A lot of these healing waters have bike trails, horse trails, and hiking trails as things to do while staying in the area to cleanse. Can imagine Fenn starting off the day of soaking in healing waters, and then after being outdoors in fresh air, short hike, some fishing. The fishing up there is terrible, is the problem. The perfect day, bathing, hiking, fishing in the open air like his stories in the book, while trying to save his life or spend some final time with Peggy. The constant debate is where warm waters halt and how far it is from the blaze. Halt is usually used in terms of stopping something advancing, like maybe an aggressive cancer. Begin at where warm waters halt. Read the poem as if the person is fighting a battle with cancer. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. Your effort will be worth the cold. So hear me all and listen good. Side effects of chemo, hearing loss, fatigue, being cold, etc. Your effort will be worth the cold if you are brave and in the wood. Brave battling cancer, not out of the woods, etc. No parent, and especially not Forrest Fenn, would roll over and take medical advice. There's nothing more that we can do for you. Can you hear his voice saying, I don't accept that, doc? Wouldn't surprise me. I'm not quite concerned. I'm not quite convinced that was the diagnosis. They did give him time. They gave him a 20% chance of living 3 years. So I think that's enough. If somebody tells you've got a terminal diagnosis, you got 4 months to live, there's a very good chance you got 4 months to live. But if you have a 20% chance of dying of surviving 3 years, those are good odds. That would force you to kind of work and do whatever you need, especially if you had a lot of money to get all the various treatments that you can. I'm not in the U.S. and will never be searching boots on the ground. I'm just trying to help someone solve it, or maybe something I said triggers something in a searcher that might be the link they are needing to find it. 10 years of searching continental divides or fishing waters as warm waters halt doesn't seem to be working. Well, yeah, except that nothing seems to be working. Okay, so this is actually a comment, but it was a cool comment, so I decided to read it. It's from Gadelcon. You guys know him. He may or may not be in the room. He shows up every once in a while. Hey, Brit Chaser. DB Cooper. DB, what's wrong with you, brother? You're better than that. Gadelcon says, well, I have to believe this year will be a good year to explore so many new avenues. Now that I am near retirement, I can't fathom not working for myself. I have a special niche in the medical industry, and I wonder if it will all end like I have planned. Forrest presented the quote, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead, unquote, and it took me a while to understand what he was telling us. I never did assume that he was talking about himself in that quote. So I kept an open mind, knowing that some funny situations will evolve to whom he was actually talking about. During my research and the interviews of people which I think Forrest would never thought I would pursue to find the answer. During my research and interviews of people which I think Forrest never thought I would pursue to find the answer. So I'm not, that's a sentence, but it isn't a complete sentence. People are going to find the answer. It was at my special spot that my mind wanted to play among the butterflies and bees. I can tell you it was one heck of a gathering. It was a secret perhaps only a few know about, and it was a great pleasure to finally find out. Actually, I was on the phone with the one who is still living here in Colorado. We talked politics, and he seemed to be my kind of guy. He went on to tell me that he likes the way he looks, and he wasn't ready to make any major changes. I just had to laugh because of the way he said it. So in the quote, Forrest is not talking about himself, and he is only talking about two people. Thank you for your time. An Indian scout and a saint. Oops, I'm sorry. An Indian saint and a scout. I thought it was Indian scout and a saint. Wanted, dead or alive. Okay. Voila. All right, let me check real quick and see if we have any text messages, because I know we did earlier. The date on the upper banner should be 20. Oh, thank you, Karen. Look at that. Correcting me on my banner up above. Let's see. There's the Friday banner right there. Let's go to properties and change that to 2020. Thank you, Karen. Look at you. Eagle eyes. 2020. 2020. Instead of 2019, she noticed that I had put 2020 in our banner. I mean 2019 in our banner. Good text message. Okay, let's see who we got here. Hi, Toby and Shelley. Got the Yellowstone giveaway package today. Oh, great. Great map. Pictures are fantastic. Haven't read it, but will this weekend. Thanks again. That's from Mary Wilson. She won last week's prize. Well, we're glad you're happy with it, Mary. And I speak as if the MTP is sitting next to me. Let's see. This is from 775. Don't forget, if you're going to send me a text message, include at least your first name and the state from which you are texting. Hi, AGK. I'm not sure. This is 775. I don't know what area code that is. Let's see. Hi, AGK. I'm not sure if you can answer this. If I know the location of the chest, 100%, exact spot, because it's all there, but a medical condition like a hernia stops me from carrying 50 pounds, plus the weight of my gear as well, I would end up being a target if anyone spots it. If there is there a workaround, it's only because Forrest is alive is why I bring it up as a potential option. I have emailed Forrest with the same question. I'm waiting for a response. The likelihood of you getting a response to that is slim on this side and none over here. I'm sure I know the answer, but it's worth checking out anyway. P.S. I will only reveal my poem to Forrest himself for verification. That's actually a good idea. First of all, if you're going into, you shouldn't be carrying a backpack with any more than your backpack. If you're out in the field, boots on the ground looking for this treasure, you don't need a full gear backpack unless you're, camping for 5 days in a spot or something like that. Get out of the car, take a backpack with some water and some Cliff Bars and a flashlight and a pocket knife and I made a list of those things. You should not be carrying a 65-pound backpack to go look for this treasure. So that's number one. Number two, Forrest made 2 trips because he figured out he couldn't carry, and I'll recommend what you do. Take a 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot, fill it with water, carry that. That's the same weight as the treasure and the chest combined. Empty that, you got the treasure by itself. Or you can pick up King Tut's mask. It weighs the same as a treasure. The reasonable options are don't carry that much weight in your backpack. Make sure you have enough room in your backpack to carry 22 pounds worth of gold. And I'm gonna suggest to you the box is 10 by 10 by 5, so you can actually calculate the internal volume from that. So you're not talking about a great big volume. Gold is very dense. That's why it gets to be 22 pounds, and that's part of its value. But you're not going to the gold, the treasure without the chest is going to be a small bag that weighs 22 pounds, which if you throw in your backpack will work. So here's what I'd recommend you do. You go to your treasure location, you look at the treasure, marvel gaze for a couple of seconds, then you take and you turn the chest over and dump the treasure into the ground, because nobody's found it to this point, cover it up with a little dirt or detritus. Take the treasure chest back to the car, put that in the car, lock it up, head back for the treasure, take the detritus and dirt off of it, put it in there, or you could even put it in a plastic bag and then throw it into a hole in the ground because nobody else is going to find it unless somebody is following you, which is possible, I suppose. And then get the treasure and walk it back to the car. That way, you're not carrying 65 pounds plus 40 pounds, which will give you a hernia if you don't already have one. If you don't have one already. But if you do it in two batches and you do it first with the chest and then with the treasure, you should be fine. That's my advice. 775, because I don't have your name. Let's see. That's from, hey, we were going to do, I got my first 1-hour conference call, consulting call scheduled, but unfortunately the party couldn't make today's meeting, so we've rescheduled it for Friday. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hi, Toby. The date on the... Oh, okay. That was the one we just read a little guy. Obligatory Friday text message. Jim, thank you, in Ohio. Hello, Toby. I really appreciate your live stream. Was wondering what you thought about the phrase, if you've been wise, what do you think this could mean besides just being intelligent? Well, I have to give you our analysis of it. We think the phrase, if you've been wise and found the blaze, is an indication, is a reference to the wise men of biblical nature, and we think it's a reference to the fact that the blaze is some kind of astronomical event. My thoughts, you asked. There'll be a lot of people in the room who disagree with me, by the way, so just listen. You can listen to them as well. Okay, Toby's son. Oh, it's Greg Keller in Rochester. Just wanted to send you a text to say I had eyes on the chest, but an intimidating snail prevented me from retrieving it. Maybe next time, I swear. Those snails can be nasty. They're slimy, but they are edible. So maybe just look at it from that person. Pick the little bastard up, sassy. Put the little guy up, put him in a plastic bag, take him home. Boy, I don't know how they do snails. What do they do with snails? Do they bake them? I've only had them once. and I only did it because I was served them and I didn't have a choice. And it was okay. I mean, it's like eating. It's like eating. I don't know. It's like eating a mushy gummy bear. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like eating a gummy bear that you took from your granddaughter out of her mouth, and then you put it in yours. That's what it was like, and then you get a cold. I think, okay, so that's text messages. Let's see if there's any voicemails. We are just rocking. I didn't do the text message video. And MTP will remind me. Okay, that was the text messages video a little bit late. Now we are going to do the... Do we have a voicemail? We don't have a voicemail. Do we have one? Where is she when I need her? Ugh, I just miss the heck out of her when she's not here. Oh, that's the walk of shame. Okay, so I don't have a... I better check and see if we have any. Oh, another text message. Hello, Toby. Jeff from Austin here. Did Forrest say the treasure was in New Mexico in the video on Hint of Riches video on December 25th? No. No, he didn't say it was in New Mexico. As a matter of fact, that was one of those things. So it's funny because a lot of these there was a point at which I believe Forrest started being Forrest, and he was just doing smoke screens. So you're asking the wrong person this because I believe it's in New Mexico, but I don't think there is anything that he said in that conversation that guarantees it's in New Mexico. If I was one of the people that believed that it was in another state, I would not use that video as a reason to change my state. How's that? Is that fair? Even though I believe it's in New Mexico. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Oh, that's interesting. Somebody just sent me an email asking if I'd like to share their monthly budget. That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, no voicemails. We got a couple of recent calls, but nothing happening there. Okay, so you know what? Wow. Okay, so this is going to be one of those nights. Either we're going to start the phone calls early, or Uncle Toby-san is going to get to bed early. I don't get to bed early. I'll just get to start working again early. So let's do the... Boop. Phone lines are open, 202-815-1171. Call and talk to me about your theory of finding this treasure. Take Her Easy says, your smokescreen analysis is interesting. I hope you go back. You know what? I haven't done that to the others, but it's become obvious to me in a lot of these conversations that he's giving towards the end, where he gets the opportunity, he throws some smoke out there. He does a little bit of smoke. The last couple of them have been like that. And I don't think that's anybody's fault. I'm not being critical of Christie or anything. I'm just saying he decided he was just going to be, Smokey, the bear. Rio Grande Joe, you have 10 minutes, brother. What do you got to say?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, you got to turn it off. Otherwise, we're going to hear all that background noise.
Oh, now I could hear you. I was just calling in. I've been listening to all these people say that they know where it's at, but if they can't produce it, I don't think they know where it is.
Well, hey, you don't even have to produce it. Just send me a picture, for gosh sakes.
I was getting a laugh out of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody says, well, we've looked at it and picked it up and put it back down and covered it up.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to do that?
You know what? That's the documentary I want to make. So if you're a searcher, right?
Right.
And you have plans, not you, I'm going to talk to, this is the entire room. If you have plans to go to your location where you believe the treasure is, and your plan is to admire it and then leave, or open it up and admire it and then leave, and then and that's all you're going to do, that's the documentary I want to make, because that's a story. Right? Somebody Toby Younis, hearing Rio Grande Joe calls me and he says, Toby, I'm going to pick up the treasure and I plan to bring it back and donate it to a museum, or I'm going to go give Fenn his bracelet back, or what. Now that, and you have a picture of it, right? That I would go with you. But if you were to call me and say, Toby, I am going up to where the treasure is located. Here's a picture I've already taken of it, and I just want you to go up there and admire it with me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said, well, if these people knew where it was, I wouldn't leave $2 million laying on the ground.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Who
crazy.
of us, short of Forrest Fenn, who of us in this room is wealthy enough to look at $2 million worth of antiquities, gold, and gemstones and say, meh, I don't need it.
Yeah, and if these people are searchers, well, they're searching for the loot,
Yeah,
They're not rich enough to.
I guess some of us are searching apparently for gratification of some kind, like, oh, I solved it, but I'm going to leave it there for the next person.
I bet they don't even know where Homer Brown is, or where warm water salt. They don't know that.
No, they don't. I would be surprised if they did. But I'm willing to listen if you're going to keep telling me that you know where the treasure is, and you want me to go document your admiration. At least give me a picture. Send me.
Well, I've got all the 9 clues. I can't tell you that the treasure's there for sure, but it can't be nowhere else.
So,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to tell you that the treasure is there, but I'm certain. I'm 100% certain it can. I'm playing the rooster. You get the roosters for that. Hang on. You are definitely getting. Because that is not quite saying I know where the treasure is, but you're saying it's not anyplace else.
I'm just saying that my clues are all together within a 10-mile range.
Yeah.
I just hadn't. It's been too cold and snowed up. You couldn't find the blaze anyway right now. But if they don't get it before here in April, I'm going to go get it and show it to the world.
All right. Well, that's so as usual. All I'm saying is let us know. Wait the 30 days before you do anything, and then let the people let the community know. Even if you want to maintain your anonymity.
Well, that's what it'll be. If I get it, I'll keep it going and give a clue every month until it's found, and whoever gets it from the searchers, I may cut them in $10,000 or whatever.
So wait, you're saying you're going to leave it there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell Finn or whoever not to disclose that it's, Yeah. I'll let it run.
Yeah.
And whoever finds this location after I give the clues.
Well, I think kind of
it would be fun.
Impact of this. I think the difference between Fenn and say David Blaine.
Right.
Is David Blaine didn't have the patience, right? He just got tired of people not being smart enough to figure out where all this was, And so he started throwing out hints. He started throwing out little things like, hey, make sure you watch that video that I made at my friend's house, which is where the treasure was located, right?
Right.
So Fenn's not going to do that. And I think as a result, what's happened is there's going to be a lot of people. You're going to find the treasure. Maybe somebody announces where the clues led them, where they found the treasure. And then I think it'll be a long time before somebody says, hey, I hid a treasure and I wrote a book. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. It'd be fun though if somebody found it and just kept giving clues until
they got it.
A main searcher found the spot where it was.
Yeah.
And then give them a prize of $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
$2 million.
Well, that's kind of what he was. That's what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
So he would just go out and give enough clues until the damn thing is found.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's
Wait. Let me answer this
it's
question in the Facebook room before it scrolls off. Don't go away. Hey,
okay.
Bob Alvarez in Facebook. What is your interpretation of an iron tree? I have no idea. I've never heard that in the context of the poem, Bob. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Okay.
An iron tree. Never heard of that.
Yeah. Who's heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
if
feel you want us to put you down on the Rooster roster for what month?
Yeah, when the snow clears up, April or May or April.
It's usually the end of April, maybe. Although we
That's what
haven't,
I think.
you know what? We haven't had
That's
a big.
around my birthday, so
Yeah, we haven't had a big snow year here.
yeah. So if it stays the way it is, it may be a little earlier than
Yeah.
the
Okay.
beginning of April, maybe.
All right. I will give you May just because I don't think it's going to be April.
Yeah, and like you said, when you first started looking for this thing, you was sure it was there,
Yeah.
but nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's right.
I'm just saying that all my clues are in line.
Yeah. Well,
And,
that's more headway
without
than I
even-
have because my clues.
without even boots on the ground, you know.
My clues,
If you-
if I take my 9 clues, 3 of them are New Mexico, 3 of them are in Colorado, and the rest
Right.
are divided between Wyoming, Montana, and Yellowstone. So I don't have anything together.
Yeah, and all mine are in New Mexico, within a 10-mile range.
Well, that's good. That's only.
I mean, the way I
know.
deciphered the poem, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't just share it with everybody because I got to check first. But
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that it can't be nowhere else unless I've tried to match this with Colorado and different places, and 1 or 2 will hit together, and the rest of them don't hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't find the home of brown and where warm water salt, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
And I've got both of them. So.
Well,
but I don't know if they're
That's
right.
it.
The right ones.
You
I
and the
hope they
little
are.
girl in India. So Well, she didn't have Home of Brown though, right? You have Home of Brown.
Right. Yeah, she couldn't know where the home of brown
Right.
was unless she was
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And there's hints with that little girl in one of the pictures that is pictured it like in a cartoon.
Yeah.
That cartoon's got a hint in it. I can't tell you what it is. And the 2 guys riding on horses and they show their backs, that picture.
Oh yeah, in that scrapbook. Oh, so you're a scrapbook guy? You believe there's hints and clues in the scrapbook?
Yeah, that scrapbook with the 2 guys riding away and you see their backs.
Yeah. Jack,
got
he's in New Mexico. You're in New Mexico. The
Yeah.
treasure, yeah. Jack, he's in New Mexico. They were
And,
asking in the room.
That's got the big hint there.
Yeah.
You just have to look at it real close.
I think there's a code in the lines on the shirts. That's the one.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
See?
Uh-huh.
Birds of a feather, brother. We need to get
That's it.
together and just have a little Starbucks thing or someplace
That's right.
that serves cocktails. But either way.
Yeah, and we live close by, so
Yeah.
I'll hit you up one day and I'll buy you coffee.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. That's what I wanted to know. People saying, I've got it, I picked it up, and that's not right.
Evidence. We need evidence of some
Right.
kind, of any kind.
Any kind,
Yeah.
picture or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If they knew where the treasure was, they could call in and say, well, here's the real home of Brown.
Yeah.
You
She'll
know,
be leading the witness.
if they don't want it, well, we'll take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, why not?
But
Wait, let me say, I got to say hi to one of our Facebook friends because otherwise they scroll by. Laura Dunlap, hello. We can see you in Facebook on Restream. All right, you got your 10 minutes of fame.
all right.
So let me know when you find that treasure so we can go take pictures.
All right, Toby, I will.
All right.
Good deal. Thank you.
You have a good evening. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Who wants Jack wants to be on the January roster? Jack. I'm going to put you down, but that would make the Magical Treasure Princess laugh. January. I don't think so. Okay, Jack, you're on the Rooster roster for January. You have 28 days left. Phone lines are open. 202-815-1171. Call me and let's talk about, yeah, that's good. Say hi, Laura Dunlap. She can't see us because she's over in the Facebook room. Laura Dunlap says, I was wondering, does a redneck from Texas slow down. Hold on. Let me see. So Laura says, I was wondering, does a redneck from Texas kind of point to New Mexico? Since New Mexico is closer drive from Texas, I kind of always took that from the statement. No, not necessarily, Laura. I think what he was trying to express is that you don't need to be a highly monetized treasure hunter, that anybody can find this treasure. And you have to consider that he and his family used to drive from Temple, Texas, which is central Texas, all the way up to Yellowstone every summer. So I don't think he thinks that the guy that cowboy has to stay near New Mexico, unless he's got a crummy pickup truck. So, he didn't give us home around either. I know he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna share it. I don't think Joe is gonna share any of his clues, Greg. All right, Great Falls, Montana. Hey, Great Falls. This is Toby Younis. What's your name and what's your question?
My name's Stuart Jones. How you doing, Toby?
Very good, Stuart. How are you tonight?
I'm not too bad.
So, what do you got going on?
Well, actually, it's funny that caller that called in just now said that he had all 10 of his clues in the same area in New Mexico. And I was calling to ask you, how long have you, how long on your particular pick you thought it was in New Mexico?
I've thought it was in New Mexico since I first started searching in 2013.
The very first, okay.
Very first. And it goes back to, I'm going to bore everybody else in the room again. It goes back to the initial publication of the book where he printed 1,000 copies, put them in collected works, and it stayed that way until it exploded with the publication of the Hemispheres magazine article in 2013, 14, 13, or 12.
See, and I guess that's where it makes me a newbie because I didn't even know about this. I just happened to be in a room where a conversation was going on and between two people when they were talking about.
And you listened to their conversation?
Oh yeah. I was one of the three that.
Oh, okay, all right. So you weren't there surreptitiously.
Okay. No, eavesdropping. No.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then when they brought it up and they said, I didn't know and hadn't heard anything about Forrest Fenn or anything. And I was here, I lived here, was here in Montana living.
Yeah.
And ironically, I've probably known about it, 6 months now?
Yeah.
And within the 6 months, I bought the Thrill of the Chase and what's this, the Too Far to Walk.
Yeah.
And as far as listening to what Finn said, he said, you need the map and you need the book.
Because the book has the poem.
Yeah. And then he actually narrowed it down to where he did say that there were 9 clues in the book that told you what the 9 clues were in the poem.
No, he has never said that.
He never said that.
He's never said that. The only response he's given. So what he said is there's 9 clues in the poem. They're contiguous and consecutive. When it comes to the book, he says, read the book because there are a couple of hints and a couple of aberrations around the edges. That's what he said about the book.
Okay. So I misunderstood what I thought I heard him say.
So let me give you a bit of advice.
Okay.
A lot of people take what he writes in the book as gospel and they incorporate that into your thinking. The only reason I incorporate anything in the book into my thinking is that it gives me insight into Forrest Fenn. All the answers you need to find this treasure are in the poem. Everything you need to know is in the poem.
In the poem.
Yeah.
And that's not now we're saying the poem that doesn't include the map, right? We're just talking about
just the poem. You can pick whatever map you want after that. You need the poem. You need to figure. You need to, and I'm going to use the word decipher because I can't think of another way to in a small word say, in one word say, understand what underlies each of the metaphors in the poem, right? So each of the clues is a metaphor.
Correct.
We know that the first clue is begin at where warm waters halt, and that the last clue is look quickly down your quest to cease.
Okay.
Okay. So in between there's a bunch of metaphors,
Correct.
and then I'm getting some feedback on your side. Do you know what it is? Have you got your computer on?
No.
Okay.
My computer. Yeah.
All right.
No.
So it's me giving feedback. Let me do something so that stopped it. What did you do?
I just pulled the phone further away from me.
Oh, okay. So everything you need to know is in the poem. The clues are between begin at where warm waters halt and look quickly down your quest to cease. They are 9 clues in consecutive and contiguous order. And that's that, and a good map is apparently all you need. But you won't be able to find the treasure without putting boots on the ground. And I know that sounds like a oversimplification because then you can't recover it. But
Well,
there's a point at which you actually have to go out and look for the treasure.
I've been 4 times now. So
good.
I've been out 4 times.
Yeah.
I just eliminated what say my boots to the ground was just to eliminate what any thought that I would have had, like any doubt, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I went out with the expectation knowing that it was probably not there, but I just wanted to reassure myself that I was correct.
Yeah, and that's not an unwise way to do that. I think what you have to do when you come up with your first theory is get out boots on the ground so you can see A, how big the problem really is, and B, how wrong you are. And then you go
Correct.
back and refine that. It's a process of elimination more than it is a process of actually going out and finding the treasure.
And as far as the warm waters goes, would you say it's fair to say that nobody actually knows at this point, or if they do know, they don't know, or they haven't said?
I would say the latter. If they have a good sign, we do know that there are some treasure hunters who figured out the first 2 clues early on in the process. Within the first 2 years,
yeah.
There was a couple of people that figured it out.
Right, and then they jumped over, and then they went.
Then various things happened to them. He's told the story in a variety of ways. Some of them he didn't mention what they did. Some of them went past the other 7 clues, et cetera, et cetera. But we know that some people have figured it out, and it was early on in the process, which is an indication that the people that knew him best, the people that were getting that one of those 1,000 copies out of collected works, knew Fenn well enough to know what he was talking about when he was talking about it. And then the rest of us have expanded it to the extent that anything is possible, from the New Mexico fishing regulations to dipping your toe in every stream that you come across as you search for the treasure.
And I was under the impression that warm waters was actually warm to touch. That's what has that been for sure 100% that's what it's meaning?
No, it is not. It is not one of those. So it is one of the possibilities. And I don't discount it. I mean, I don't use it. It's not mine.
Right.
Because it's not specific enough. I believe, in my opinion, if you're going to start a treasure hunt, it has to be very specific. It can't be arbitrary, like the temperature of the water at any given point in time.
On a lot bigger scale.
Oh, on a massive scale when you consider the size of the Rocky Mountains and the 4 treasure states.
Right, because I mean, you could be here for 5 lifetimes looking for actual warm waters if you wanted to get technical.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the challenge. So, he's constantly telling us to simplify, to get back in the box. And so look for the simplest answer. Look for the simplest answer to the question. Pardon?
That was one of the first things, or one of the first, I was new to find out that there was even, how you would say, YouTube channels and people that actually got together in gatherings and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of new to it in a way.
Yeah.
But the very first thing that I actually caught was the whole concept of he's saying specifically is to get back in the box.
Right.
Now, I heard somebody else with the YouTube channel had mentioned, well, what's the box? Well,
Right.
the box is the book. I agreed and disagreed with that because everything that Finn says at this point, or what I've heard him say over the channels of what people's put out there, I take them literally, because I believe that, yes, he does throw a lot of smoke out there. I agree with that 100%. And I think that there's a serious side to him, and then there's the smoke side to him, I guess you could say.
No, I think you could say there's a serious side to him that he dedicates to his business, and that he dedicates to hiding the treasure.
Correct.
Because he had a very specific. After that, from the day he hid the treasure, what we see is the mischievous Fenn.
Correct.
Right. So that's why it's very hard to trust anything he says, because if he gets an opportunity to play with your head, especially if he thinks he's playing with your head, he'll do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got that just from reading the books.
Yeah.
He is quite the character.
All right, we're coming up on 10 minutes here, so
okay.
I'm going to say my good nights, and I'm going to give somebody else a chance to call in. All right.
Okay, I appreciate it, Tony. You have a good night, man.
You too. Thanks for calling in, and please feel free to call in on other shows.
Yeah, I'd like to get up with you personally, if I could, in a way.
There's an easy way to do that. Send
my email, actually.
No. Here's how you do that. You get 1 hour of my time on the phone or on Zoom. The cost is $50. Send it to the PayPal address above, and send me your phone number, and I'll call you to schedule an hour.
Okay. All right. All right. I appreciate it, Tony.
My pleasure. Talk to you later.
Yep.
Ta-ta. Oh, did somebody throw Jack? Is that Jack that got thrown out of the room? What happened there? Jack was, it was timed out. How did that happen? Okay, that's just me being funny. Phone lines are open. 202-815-1171. So I don't have anything else to talk about. When we don't have this, I can tell you I'll tell you my theories, but that's about it. It's almost more fun when somebody's calling in and giving me theirs. So it's nice, but what's always nice is it's nice to hear people that are just coming into all of this and their kind of perspective, and it reminds me of what I went through and what I'm sure a lot of you guys went through. Hey, caller, what's your name and what's your question?
Hey, my name's Ron, and I'm just wondering, because I'm kind of new to the chase, and I've been going through YouTube, and I've been coming across a lot of different channels.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure who's who.
Yeah.
And some seem legit, some seem like they can claim something. I'm wondering who's like the top bracket that I should be looking at. I'm trying to solve this, I want to finish this and end it.
Yeah. So the problem is. That the top bracket comes and goes, and I certainly I wouldn't want to classify. To me, anyone who puts the effort into making YouTube videos is worthy of consideration, and I believe that the person who finds it isn't going to be necessarily the top bracket in YouTube.
Nah, but somebody, like, I seen a couple where they have videos going back for a few years.
Yeah.
Like, who's been around long? Because I know there's like a lot of interaction that happens in the chat. And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want to try to pull as much information as I can out of this.
Yeah.
I'm going for this.
So I'll give you the people so I subscribe to all of the what we call Fenn tubers, all of them, regardless of how long they've been around or how many videos they've produced. I subscribe to all of them because I want to see what they're talking about, right? So,
whatever happened to that guy from Flip?
Again, you got to classify him as one of the folks that comes and goes. I mean,
I actually watched a bunch of his videos.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed because they all disappeared.
Yeah, you putting a channel on YouTube requires.
I think his name's Sean
Dodson. Yeah, so putting up a YouTube channel and populating it with content requires a lot of time and effort. And for someone like Sean, who has a young family, who has, work, who works,
But if he already produced them and he just left them online, when they just produced the work that they were going to do anyways.
Yeah, that's
why
his
did he
choice.
take them
Though.
off? I'm actually kind of curious about that.
That's a question you need to ask.
He was actually pretty adventurous.
Yeah, you need to ask him. He knows the answer to the question.
I looked on. I went through YouTube. I tried to go through his thing. There's no email address. Nothing.
You can you see him occasionally.
You're like the popular guy everybody listens to. So I figured I asked you. You know what I mean?
Well, no, actually, nobody listens to me. I just happen to be on more than everybody else. That's it. Was what it boils down to. We're committed to content, but on the other hand, I'm retired, so I have the time. My children are all grown. So I have the free time to do this kind of thing. A lot of people, when you started...
No, that's what I mean. The information flows through the pipe.
Yeah.
And goes through you because you're kind of like close to the top, or maybe you are the top.
No.
You always come up.
I try to share as much information of the things that I know about or that I hear about. And because we have a big audience, we have over 6,000 subscribers now, which is not big by YouTube standards, but is big by FenTube standards. If I have something that I can share...
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So you can always come here.
I have another question. I seen the thing, Cynthia Meacham, I think her last name is.
Yeah.
She posted that video with the book about Artie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any way I could buy that book?
No. Fenn has published 100 copies.
I'll give $500 right now for the one copy of the book.
That's not going to happen. So Forrest, he had 100 copies printed. He's giving it family to friends. And
all right.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Hey, let me finish. And he's told everybody to whom he's given a copy of the book that he never expects to see that on eBay or for sale anywhere. So he's...
Oh, no, I don't plan on selling it. What's Forrest Fenn's email?
ForrestFenn@gmail.com.
Forrest Fenn
at gmail.com. There you go.
That's one R in Forrest or
2 R's? 2 R's. Forrest,
right.
Forrest, Fenn, Fenn.
Right, so it's RR?
Yeah, 2 R's.
All right, cool. Thank you. I'm gonna message him like right after I get off with you.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
You take care.
Bye.
And thanks for calling in. So I'm going to give you, for those of you that didn't see Cynthia on our channel and what she said, basically, Forrest actually gave her one of the copies of the book. It's numbered 27-100. But he also made her promise that he would never see that book on eBay or for sale or hear it was for sale or whatever. So he's made sure that the 100 copies that do go out go to the people that he wants them to have and that they will keep forever. So... And it kind of reminded me, the approach that he took to this limited edition that he took. So it was going to family and friends and they could enjoy it. It very much reminded me of what would sound to me like his plan when he first put out the Thrill of the Chase. Limited edition, 1,000 copies, collected works where his friends hung out for coffee. They would buy it, go look for the treasure, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some similarities there. Hey, Tony, what's up?
Hey, it's Tony from Chicago. What's
I know.
going on?
You are now in my contacts list, so I know it's Tony from Chicago.
Hey, thank you very much for that. I feel privileged. Okay, so I know I got 10 minutes, so I'll make this fast. So number one, in the chat room today, this is more for Christy and Mike.
Yeah.
In the chat room, Taker Easy has recommended that Christy and Mike have Joe Treasure Hunter on their marathon for at least an hour. I second the motion. I think that would be a good idea for him to get his ideas out.
Yeah.
So that's more for Christy and Mike.
Yeah.
So number two is more for you and Joe Treasure Hunter. I think on Wednesday's show, Joe Treasure Hunter had requested that you go with him and document him finding the treasure, and you said no, you're not, for your reasons.
Yeah.
So what I am willing to do is I am willing to volunteer my time. I am willing to sign whatever release you want, Toby. Sign whatever release Joe Treasure Hunter wants, and I will come and get your equipment, Toby. I will then go with Joe Treasure Hunter. I will then document Joe Treasure Hunter finding the treasure. I will sign whatever release he wants, so he's protected that if I do anything devious that I will get monetary penalties.
Yeah.
I will then come back to Albuquerque. I will give that equipment back to you so you can then produce and show the documentary of him finding it on your program, and you get all the credit for it. I am willing to do that for the community.
Okay. Well, he now knows that Tony from Chicago, Joe Treasure Hunter, when you watch this, and he does watch because I get emails from him. Joe Treasure Hunter, when you see this, send me an email. Tony, you send me an email.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And I will get you guys in communications with one another. And I can tell you the equipment that I would go up on that day is very, very light. I would go with a DJI Pocket Osmo because it would do everything that you needed to do, right?
Okay.
So, and it's real easy to use.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just send me an email. As soon as I hear from Joe, I will forward him your email address, and you guys can have a conversation.
Perfect. And I will let you take full credit for showing him.
You know what? I do not need credit for that. You guys go ahead and just.
So that is my funny thing of the night. So, but here's the serious thing: is that about a month ago, I think Christy and Mike had a gentleman on their program. I forget which channel.
Now you know that Christy's in the room, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
She wasn't taking phone calls last night. They had a different topic. It was in the Forrest Fenn topic.
Yeah.
But they had. I've been thinking about this ever since they've been doing the clips of their documentary with Forrest. Is that they about a month ago they had a gentleman.
Hold on, Tony. Let me just.
Yeah.
Hey, Portland, you're trying to call in while I'm talking to somebody else. You're just going to keep getting thrown to voicemail. Why don't you wait and I'll call you back, okay? You don't have to keep calling. You're just going to get thrown to voicemail. Okay, go ahead. Ugh. Shucks. Now I hung up on poor. That was wrong. Let me call Tony in Chi-Town.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 31234406006 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may...
All right, Portland, you're up. Tony. Portland.
Hello, this is Paul from Portland.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is this Toby?
It is.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Toby. Just want to say great job with your live stream channel, and I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I just had a couple thoughts. I guess I'll just cover the first one. The poem, I'm a new searcher, and I don't have everything memorized.
Yeah.
And some of my facts might be off. But if I remember correctly, the poem is shown on a piece of paper, and it has Forrest shadow, like there's a shadow image of him on that poem.
Okay, so that's actually an image that comes from the map that's in in the back of Too Far to Walk.
Okay, yeah, I haven't read that, but and then the other
was so. What point were you going to make about that?
Well, he says you have to have a poem with you, and a good map, I think, to find the treasure.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe that you have to have that page that has the poem on it. One of the pages shows magnetic lines.
Yeah.
They're not true north. They're like the difference between true north and magnetic north, I think it is. And I was just wondering what if anybody has brought that up before, and what do you think is the significance of that?
It had been discussed. I don't think there's anything of the significance, and the reason is that book came out in 2013, and that's the point at which we say Forrest Fenn discovered the Rocky Mountains. They had never come up prior to that time in his conversations, but he was publishing his second book, and we view Too Far to Walk as the memoir that he would have written had he not had to have a poem and a treasure. The Thrill of the Chase really isn't much of a memoir. It's the Too Far to Walk that is memoir, but he had promised a poem and a treasure chest, and so he rushed the Thrill of the Chase into production, but there was no mention of that. The other thing is the shadow that you see falling over the stream is actually a combination of a Photoshop. The shadow is actually his friend Dale Neitzel, who he asked to go take a picture of his shadow, and then that was photoshopped together with a picture of a stream, et cetera, et cetera. So,
I see. And I was starting to go down the path of maybe where he says heavy load, just high waters and heavy loads, and I was thinking of lodestones, which are magnetic rocks.
Yeah.
That, and like heavy loads. But when I went online, I found that most of the lodestones are kind of small.
Right.
So it probably doesn't make sense.
And
Are a heavy lodestone.
Right, and they're spelled differently. Lodestone is spelled with L-O-D-E as opposed to L-O-A-D.
Right. So that and then if it's all right, I'd like to just ask you one more question.
You can, but I'm going to ask you to break for just 1 second because I need to take care of something. Ka-ching! That's for Jan Schultz, who gave us $5. He's the lead searcher. This is the way. Take his word for it. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, go back. What's your question?
All right, Toby. I've seen a few videos where Forrest has mentioned that he wants people to just pursue things in their life that make them happy. And one of the ways he characterizes that is like, just go outside, walk around, and turn over a log and see what's underneath it.
Yes.
I've seen him say that a couple of times, and then I've also I'm getting somewhere with this. I've also seen some videos where people have said that maybe the chest is hidden in the hollow of a tree, at the bottom of the tree, and then I saw some other videos where people are looking at flat stones or stones on the ground and lifting the stones, and then also like hollows and rocks. The question that I'm asking is, where do you think is the treasure hidden underground in a hole, in a tree, or what? What's your opinion on that?
Oh, well, hang on. I got to do another one of these. Just give me a second. That's for William. His question is, excuse me, sir, is that coquito in the glass? No, it's Kahlua and cream. Okay, so so you're asking for my opinion?
Or maybe what's the consent? What do most people think that
you can't ask for consensus in this search? There is not a lot of consensus. You can ask 10 people that question, and they will give you 10 answers.
Yep.
So the best I can do is give you what I think. How's that?
Okay, that'd be great.
All right. The stone, the hole with the stone covering it, comes from his book, The Secrets of San Lazaro, which is the ancient New Mexican Native American pueblo that he was
Excavating,
and he found a hole containing a jar that had some corn in it that was covered with a stone, and he made a big story of it, and he's told that story very often. The problem with any kind of burying it in the ground is he's increased the size of the problem by another dimension. So instead of a two-dimensional search area, you have a three-dimensional search area. And when you multiply it by that third dimension, the problem literally becomes insurmountable in a lifetime. So it is very likely laying on top of something, the ground, or a stone, but in a niche, or that could either be a horizontal niche or a vertical niche. Now, the likelihood then that it is covered with things, you have to take that into account, but you have to assume that it's going to be hidden someplace. He says, take a flashlight. The idea, the reason you take a flashlight is so that you can look in those niches, in rocks and caves and structures like that, or down a crevice, things like that. You got to remember that his plan was to throw his body upon the treasure chest in a special place and die there, and let his bones go to the earth, or I don't know how he describes it, but he was going to die and deteriorate right there.
Yeah, that's pretty close to, I think that's exactly what he says. And so if it was in a niche that could be covered by snow, then it might be a good time to go searching for it during the summertime, I'm thinking.
Well, at least spring. What we recommend is that people don't head out earlier than the end of May. Now, some people will go out in April, depending on the weather. We've had weather where we go out at the end of April and we can't get to our search area. So the thing is to be safe, and the best way to do that is call, depending on where you're searching, you can call the National Forest Service. If you're searching near a National Forest Service, you can call the BLM. You can call the National Park Service in the area where you're searching, and you can ask them if there's snow on the ground, because they'll close roads. And he's always advised us, don't go out in bad weather. You've got to imagine what an 80-year-old man would do. Would an 80-year-old man go hide a treasure when he requires snowshoes to do so? No. Would he expect that you need snowshoes to find it? No. He expects that you'll be able to walk in there with your kids. So just think about that.
Okay. I guess that's about it. I just wanted to say thanks again. And my opinion of where warm waters halt, the first thing that, I used to visit Santa Fe sometimes, and I know there's a lot of warm springs all over the place.
Yeah.
But where the biggest conglomeration of hot water is that I know of is the caldera where the Yellowstone National Park is. So I just wanted to throw in my hat, say that that's where I think warm waters, maybe they begin or they halt. I'm not sure what they do, but there's a lot of hot water in that park.
There is definitely a lot of hot water in that park. But you will also find that when you leave the confines, the boundaries of the park, you'll find a lot of hot water outside the park as well.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That's it.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Keep watching.
You, Toby.
Talk to you later.
I will.
Bye-bye. Pow! Craig Carter. I don't know what was great about that call, but Craig even used one of the stickers. You get stickers. How cool is that? Thank you for that, Craig. We appreciate it. Thank you for contributing to our little project, as the Magical Treasure Prince would say. So let me call this poor guy from... Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to call Tony back because I accidentally hung up on him.
Hello?
Hey, Tony, it's Toby. I'm sorry. I accidentally hung up on you, and before I could get back to you, somebody called in. So where were we?
I was talking about a month ago, Christy and Mike had a gentleman on the show that hides caches also. It's sort of like a little treasure hunt.
Yeah.
But, he seems to be giving hints out because these little caches are found. That sort of makes me think that, how Forrest doesn't give hints, that he doesn't really want the treasure to be found. He wants his name to be kept in the news and such.
So I actually have mixed feelings on that, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's that he doesn't want the treasure to be found. I think he wants the treasure to be found. But I don't think he cares when it is.
Okay.
When that happens, right?
Okay.
Because one of the reasons he did this was for the notoriety of it. And if you can be notorious in 10 years, and you can be just as notorious in 100 years, or you can be just as notorious in 1,000 years. I mean, remind yourself of the story he told about the guy that carved the Rosetta Stone that didn't carve, right?
Yeah.
And how good that guy felt 1,000 years later when they finally found his stone and figured out that it decoded the hieroglyphics, the Egyptian hieroglyphics for us. He tells stories like that a lot. And I think he hopes that... So what's really kind of funny about this is that in order for it to be validated as one of the great treasure hunts of all times, it has to be found. Right?
Yeah.
If we go 100 years and that treasure isn't found, it's just yet another lost treasure that some 20 22-year-old blonde trying to take a selfie will discover accidentally.
Yeah.
So what validates that this is one of the great treasure hunts of all time is that one day someone finds it. So I believe he wants someone to find it. What I don't think he cares about is when.
And also to go with like when that Spanish galleon was found.
Yeah.
Yes, it was found 200 years later. But here's the thing. Does anybody remember the name of the captain of that ship?
No. They only
No.
remember. And there were searchers. There were great treasure hunters out looking for that galleon because the big surprise was where it ended up because they had been searching in the southern part of the Atlantic rather than where it was found in the mid-Atlantic north of Florida. North of the Florida latitudes. So the surprise was that all those treasure hunters who were doing all the research, were looking in an area that ultimately that galleon was not. It actually failed in a storm much further north than anybody expected.
Yeah.
So, but nobody. The only people that know that captain's name are the people that were doing the research.
Exactly, and no one knows. So that's why I'm doing a little comparison as to the gentleman that Christy and Mike had about a month ago in the Forrest Treasure. So, okay, well, I'll let you go, and thanks for calling back, and I'll talk to you guys later.
My pleasure.
See you. Bye.
I want the dumb blonde to find it. Christy. Yeah, that's my son's theory, that one day it's going to be discovered by some 22-year-old cute girl taking a selfie. Look, I'm in Yellowstone, and she'll send the picture off to her friends. They'll go like, is that a treasure chest behind you? Either that or the Younis theory is that one day there will be technology. There is a show I was going to tell you guys. I think it's the History Channel. It's one of the History Channel, Discovery Channel, or a National Geographic Channel, or maybe it's even the Smithsonian. I'll have to finish that. Oh, Joe Treasure Hunter. Let's give him his 10 minutes of fame. Joe Treasure Hunter, what's up tonight?
Hey, what's happening, Toby?
Did you hear that offer from Tony in Chicago?
Oh, yes. I mean, if he's willing to do that, then
he said he's willing to do that. Said he
is
is willing to do that.
Well, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Whenever it doesn't make it doesn't.
Well,
make a
send me an
difference to
email, and I will forward your email to him, and you guys can talk.
Okay,
All
that
right.
sounds good.
Okay, there we are. Settled.
Yep. I'm gonna love it when this is over.
You know what? So will everybody else.
All right, you guys have a good evening.
All right, thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Short call from Joe Treasure Hunter tonight. Let's call this Mount. Did we call him Mount Pleasant? Yeah, we did. Let's call him Providence here.
Please leave your message for...
Oh, okay, go ahead. They go through all that trouble calling and then don't answer the phone. Phone lines are open, y'all, as the world-famous gamer says. Y'alls. 202-815-1171. So Tony, I don't know if Joe just called. He's going to send me an email. Maybe he already did. Let me check real quick. And I will hook you two up. In a treasure hunting sense, I mean. Nope, nothing. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. I think it's called Jeremy Lin Looking for Lost Worlds or something like that. Dang, nebbit. I'll tell you a story in just a minute. Hey, it's Doug Carver from Prince Edward Island. What's up, Doug?
I was just trying to let you know there's about 5 other emails with your maps.
Oh, I saw them. I was going to organize them. It's because the challenge is they're in 5 different emails, and I can't show them all. I have to organize them, so I'll show them next show.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right.
So you got the thermal one too, though.
I got them all.
Okay. Yeah. Just a second. Let me turn off my computer.
Okay.
5 other emails with your maps.
Oh, I saw them. Wow, I am really loud, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, smokes. There, I just clicked it off.
Okay.
I'll turn it back on when
All right. Oh, gee, Merry Christmas. Hey, I just accidentally picked up this call. So it's Toby on the Gypsy Kiss. What's your name and where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Hi, Toby. This is Birdie from Utah.
Yeah.
And I was just wanted to tell you about my conclusion on the blaze.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the blaze itself is the treasure chest. If you keep reading the poem, it says, "If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down." So, and what he's saying is to look quickly down, and your eyes are totally blazed on the chest. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, that's a good opinion. The opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody can have one.
That's right. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I think the blaze is the treasure chest itself.
Well, that's a great thought, and I hope that works well into your theory. And even better, I hope you find the treasure.
Me too. All right. Thank you for the time.
My pleasure. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
I got to call.
There is not enough money on your account to place this call.
Dang nabbit. Doug, I can't call you back because you're in Canada. Call me back and I'll answer it. I'm sorry I accidentally. It's the second time tonight I've done that. Let me see. All right. Phone lines are open. 202-815-1171. First one that gets to the phone wins the contest tonight. And we have some more time, so we got a lot of phone calls in tonight, huh? Pretty nifty, boys and girls. Pretty nifty. I thought there was some. Let me see if there's any comments. I thought there's some new comments. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Hello, Toby. Do not share with anyone, please. Okay, so generally speaking, if you tell me not to share something, I probably just delete it because there we go. Hey, Doug, I'm sorry. That was my fault.
No, not a problem. I had to make sure that I turned off your sound on here or
Wait a minute. No. It's your computer. Don't call it my fault. That's your computer.
Oh, no, it was.
Oh, okay.
My
computer
was blasting.
Yeah. So we were talking about the maps. I got all your maps.
Yep, perfect. One of them is the Carver map, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw all of them. They're very nice maps. I'll put them up. I will put them up, and then we'll talk about them a little bit on Wednesday.
No, okay.
Okay. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah. So, there's the other part was the little girl is how small was her map, though? That's the real kicker. Right?
Well, so he said the question that was asked. Now, you got to remember, he didn't say anything. This was all implied in the question that was asked.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
all she has is the poem and a map of the Rocky Mountains.
No, but it was a good map, though.
Well, it would have to be a hell of a map. The problem is, if you get a good map, it's going to be 10 feet tall.
No, that's one. No, see, that's what everyone's taking it wrong. What happens if it's just the military size of a certain area, of a search area that was not what was proposed.
So Jenny or whoever asked the question didn't say she has the poem and a military sized map of one UTM, of one UTM area, right? Yeah, that's not what they said. They said a poem and a map of the Rocky Mountains.
I don't think she said the Rocky Mountains.
You know what? If the magical treasure princess was here, she would correct you right now because she knows that quote. Hang on. I'm going to get it for you. I
already looked up the quote at a terror scan.
Okay, well, then you should know what it says. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, well, he implied that he used just a good map.
No. Hang on. Let's read what it says. And all you have to do is look up little girl in India.
Well, the
Okay,
reason why is me and a bunch
can
of
a
us-
little girl in India who speaks good English but only has your poem and a map of the U.S. Rocky Mountains work out where the treasure is? And he said, the little girl in India, based on that premise, he says the little girl in India cannot get closer than the first two clues. The word map is not mentioned in his response.
Which one is that, for the mystery writer?
Mysterious Writings, yeah, that's where it came from.
No, there was one before that.
No, don't. Now you're making up shit. No, don't do that.
No, I'm not.
All right, send me the link and I'll send me the link. That's 6 questions with Forrest Fenn, and that one was dated. Let me see if I. Oh, she didn't date it. You send me that link and I'll read it and I will.
Well, there was one dated.
I will eat the ice in my drink.
Okay, sorry. Well, my date is for April.
April of what?
2013.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you were April of. That's when you were going to find the treasure.
No. 2013 was the first time the little Indian girl was mentioned.
That was.
Because after that, I gave up on the whole hunt.
No. That is. Where do you send me that link? You're making up stuff now.
No, I'm just going by the transcripts. There was even a guy over in England the first time.
That there is no
Metro.
transcript of the little girl in India being mentioned. Sassy just timed me out. What did I say? I missed it.
There's a reporter that was from something Mills. It begins with an L.
I know who you're talking about, but the little girl in India did not come up then. I challenge you to send me a link. Send me a link.
Okay.
All right. You can't say that without a citation. Give me the citation, brother. That's what I'd ask in court. I need a citation.
Okay, wait a second. The first time, no, I'm sorry. That one there, that link was for when this, that date was for, sorry, I'm going to swallow my words on that one.
Okay,
sorry,
thank you. Because if the Magical Treasure Princess here, she's got
discussion.
Yeah.
It was a further discussion on the Rocky Mountains. There were 6 states at first.
Right. And he removed Idaho and Utah.
Yeah, but I'm saying back in 2013 is when I started losing interest when he dropped 2 of the states.
Yeah.
After he made a statement that there were 6 states.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, wrong one. I'm getting the 2 of them mixed up.
All right. Don't get me started, brother.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry.
No,
You know,
okay.
like because
No,
we were
I'm
talking
just
about
teasing.
little Indian girl, but I was trying to remember.
No,
when I was first
it's not
talking
little.
to you,
It's not little Indian
wanted-
girl. Don't confuse that. It's little girl in India.
From India, yes.
No, not from India. In India.
Okay. Anyways, my conversation was supposed to be the first time I heard about the Rockies and what size of the Rockies was, and it wasn't until 2013 of April. That's what my point was for this call.
Oh yeah, no. That the Rockies came up as a search area as Too Far to Walk was published. Prior to that time, the Rockies were never mentioned, nor were the first states.
Yeah, and see, a whole bunch of us was using one of the video chat rooms that you use your headphone and mic.
Yeah, Zoom.
And
Zoom.
Once they dropped the 2 other states and said not the Rio Grande, is when we all stopped taking interest in it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when we lost interest.
Wait. Who do you
Homer
mean?
Brown was for Bishop Brown, theoretical character out of a senator.
Yeah.
And so, his is way over there, just by the corner of New Mexico, Colorado, and what is it? Idaho there? Or
No. New Mexico,
Utah.
Colorado,
Utah.
Arizona, and Utah.
Yeah,
Idaho.
Utah.
Idaho is way north.
Yeah. It was Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. He had trapping or something right there, and that was our Homer Brown.
Yeah.
Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's not even part of the thing that got squashed a long time ago, 2013.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, enjoy your maps for the Rockies.
I appreciate it. Thank you for
And,
sending them in. I'll share them with the folks next week.
Yeah. And
right.
that's a pretty cool map from 1778.
I saw that. It was amazing that they could do that. That was the extent of mapping skills in that period, because they just had to wing it. They didn't have survey materials. They didn't know that they were working with latitudes and longitudes. I mean, it was pretty amazing. I'll share it next week.
Yeah. Anyways, that relative has made it tough for my life, babe, because now I have to change the photography of the land to match what he draws, or otherwise he's a liar. So I'm going to have to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Change mountains where they were.
Right. Well, who knows? You could end up owning some of that stuff. All right. You have a good evening.
Okay. Later. Bye.
Bye. So I wanted to show you this. I can't find the name of the program. I'll get it for the next time. But I want you to see. It's Joe. Hey Joe, hang on for just a minute. I'm showing something on the screen. This is that drone that I was talking about. That's LiDAR based. And again, what I told you guys is, 5 years ago, if you wanted to fly a LiDAR route, what you had to do was you had to hire a twin-engine aircraft with $1 million worth of equipment. It was going to cost you $15,000 an hour. This is a drone that does all of that. And that guy that's doing this, it's either National Geographic History, one of those. I'll find it. He does this thing called Lost Worlds or Finding Lost Worlds or whatever. And they use this aircraft to map the area using LiDAR. Now, I don't mean to imply that one day this particular device is going to find it's not really designed for treasure hunting. It's designed for sub-foliage mapping, et cetera, et cetera. The point that I'm trying to make is the technology is evolving so fast and so expansive. Hang on, Joe. So expansively that the technology that you need to find this treasure, you may not have today, but there's a damn good chance you'll have it in 5 or 10 years. So there. Okay, Joe, what's up?
Oh, yeah. I texted you my email.
Okay, great.
So once he emails me, we'll sort it out.
Good.
This is going to blow you guys' mind. Everybody's going to really...
Well, this guy is going to be really excited about it because he says he's not a searcher. He's really excited about doing this for you. So, and he's going to come and borrow some of my equipment to document it. So I'll get you guys, you two guys work it out and go out and have some fun.
It'll be a hair raiser, I'll tell you that. But he's willing to. I'll be protected. I mean, I'm the searcher that found it, and
Well, he said he would sign whatever he needed to make you comfortable.
Well, yeah, that's the key right there.
Yeah,
and you're going to see. I mean, it really is. It's done.
You don't have to prove anything to me. You just go out and do it.
Well, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, no matter what, this is done. I mean, I did it. I'm not pulling anybody's leg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I could say that. I mean, I know you know that book and poem back to front. I could say them, and you would know.
Yeah.
But if I say that, then it'll narrow down way too much, and then it would be extremely easy for anybody to go right to it. So I have to keep my mouth shut. I've done it for over a year and a half. I mean, I'm not going to change that now.
Well, like I said, you shared with Tony, and you guys work it out. I'm sure you'll come to some agreement that works for both of you.
That works for me.
All right.
All right.
You have a good evening, sir. Thank you. Hey, the MTP is in the room. What fun is that? MTP, I've managed to make it through the night without any help whatsoever. Haven't made too many flubs. And I'm okay when you're not here like this. I think I'm okay. Yeah. No, I'm not. I hate it when you're not here. But I hope you had fun at your event. Let's see. So phone lines are open. I think I have time for one more call before we call it a night. And say it's done. You guys have been really good tonight. So the troll came in for one fell swoop and then left, huh? Guess he couldn't take it. Finally figured out that nothing was showing up. Troll. Yeah, no, I can do it without it, K-Pro. I can do it on my own, K-Pro. I can't. No, I can't. Don't tell her. K-Pro, don't say anything. Then she'll just get a big head. Just get a big head. There she is. The softer side. So ask her how her event went tonight, because the last thing was a dinner, I think, over at one of the nicer places here in the Albuquerque area. Mount Pleasant finally makes it in. Mount Pleasant, Michigan. What's your name and what's your question, brother or sister?
Oh, I'm not saved in your contacts yet, huh?
Pardon me?
I said I'm not saved in your contacts yet, huh?
No, not yet.
No, it's Jeremy from Michigan.
Oh, Jeremy, hang on. Let me make a note real quick. I should have known from Michigan. Let me just make a quick note so I can add you to the contacts because you're pretty regular. Oh, let's see. Hang on. Somebody's still trying to call in. So whoever's trying to call in, we got somebody on the phone. Just give it a second. 89400. Hang on. Don't go away. Okay. Oh, rats. This poor Portland, Oregon just hasn't made it yet. Okay, Jeremy, go ahead.
Okay. My theory is what if Forrest had hidden the treasure on land that's owned by the Buffalo Bill?
Wait a minute, the Buffalo Bill Museum?
Yeah.
Then it belongs to the Buffalo Bill Museum. That would be great. That would be great for the Buffalo Bill Museum.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. But that's not what he wants. He wants any schmuck like you or me to find it. Not the Buffalo Bill Museum has more money than they know what to do with. People give them money like it's water.
Right.
The last thing they need is the treasure, other than to show. You know what you could do to make if you wanted to make Forrest really happy? You could find the treasure and then work out a deal with the Buffalo Bill Museum where they display it in the museum. And that way you could make a little money and would make Forrest really happy, even if he was already up in heaven.
I agree.
So that would be a good one.
I thought about it just because he said recently about how what if there's no legal question?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a board member there. I don't know if he currently still is.
That is not true. You put it on private property, and that is effectively private property. Worse, it's private property that belongs to a nonprofit organization. You will have legal problems. And when he says there are no legal problems, I'm sure he means that.
Oh, well, you killed my idea there.
Yeah. You don't. I don't mean to kill your idea. I'm just saying logically, that would create more legal problems than anything. And I believe that one of the things that he wanted to accomplish was that he wanted to make it as easy as possible for the person who finds the treasure to own the treasure. After going through all that trouble, right? After going through all the trouble of, researching, figuring out the clues in the poem, finding the treasure, figuring out a way to protect yourself so your house isn't raided by whomever. Why would he put all those legal obstacles in your way? So I firmly believe that I think it's one of those, you know how I'm always saying, you have to believe that Forrest Fenn assembled a treasure. You have to believe that Forrest Fenn hid that treasure. You have to believe that he wrote a poem that represents how to find the treasure. And I've added a fourth one. You have to believe that he made it as easy as possible for you to own that treasure if you find it. Because I think the moment you put all those complexities in, and not that I don't think it's a good idea, I think the Cody Museum eventually having the treasure in someplace in that museum, I think that's a good idea. But I don't think that's what he meant. He meant for a cowboy with a pickup truck and 12 kids to go out and find it. He didn't do he knew as well as anyone that the Cody Museum has all the money that they need. Now, if the finder decided that on behalf of Forrest Fenn and his memory that he would like to donate it in some way, I'm not even sure I'd donate it. I'd want money for it. But if I wanted to, sell it to give the Cody Museum the first right of refusal for a price, or lease it to the museum for a monthly fee, then that's another thing. But I don't think he put it on, because if it's on the museum property, it's going to belong to the museum, and there's not going to be much you can do about it except hire a lawyer to fight a losing battle.
Well, how's it any different than the stuff that he already has there?
I don't think it is. I mean, how much bigger does it get than the Sharp cabin? You know, Joseph Sharp's cabin. He gave them that. Now, he took a hell of a tax deduction for it because that's what people who give things do, right? But it would be very different because that's not how he promoted it. He bought the Sharp cabin and he gave it to the museum for a couple of reasons. Number one, so that the museum had it, and number two, so that he could take a tax deduction. That's not why this is a treasure hunt. That's not why he published, now 45,000 copies of the book. That's not why we have FenTuber channels. That's not why you're calling in. He wants you to find that treasure, and he wants you, if you find it, to own it.
Okay. I just kind of think like if he's given all that to the museum, why would they go against his wishes if it was found on their property?
Because the museum is run by a board of directors, and a board of directors is like stockholders, and stockholders always act in the best interest of the corporation. They don't give a damn about you and me. They care
don't they have
about
like a mission statement or anything?
mission statement is to make sure that the museum grows. That's the they do have a mission statement, but if you read the mission statement, it basically says our mission is to make sure this museum grows.
Okay. Well, I have a really good theory about the rest of it where I think it could be, but I'm just gonna have to maybe look a little deeper or something. I don't know.
Yeah, take a look at it and see what the talk to an attorney. Pay. You can call Rocket Law, and they'll let you talk to an attorney for $30 for a half hour. And you say to him, if there was a treasure hidden on private property owned by a nonprofit organization and I found it, who owns that treasure? Ask him that. That's all you have to do is ask him.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you. And I'm sorry to be such a disappointment. I'll add you to my contacts list in return.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
I hate to be the bringer of sad tidings. Yeah, that's. I just don't think he would do that to you, even if it was Jack. Okay. Wow, what a night that was, huh? Hey, huh? So, Magical Treasure Princess, I hope this doesn't happen often. I need to have you here because I just you need to be here. It's a disaster when you're not here. If it wasn't for the phone calls, it would be a disaster. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. What was our pecan current? We had a pretty good pecan current. Good night. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a great time. And we didn't get a lot of trolling. I got rid of Grip or whatever his name is. I did. I think we're getting a handle on it. He might be getting tired of the fact that nobody sees anything he's doing. I mean, there's two reasons trolls exist, right? One is because they can. The technology is available to them. Two is the others to get attention. If you're not getting attention, meh, what's the use, right? Okay. What's going on here? So, wait, don't be stupid. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the Fenn Treasure. So there's a chat going on someplace in one of the forums about us being a cult. We're a Fenn cult. And we are kind of a cult, aren't we? We're just not a crazy cult. At least the majority of us aren't a crazy cult. Some of us are freaking crazy. No. All right. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope... Oh, wait. I got to do the whole musical thing. Namaste, Magical Treasure Princess. Namaste are my favorite Moderators, ESK Pro, the Sassy. Who else was in there tonight? Holly wasn't here tonight, so I can't see. No, there's not going to be any Toby at 10 tonight because I need my beauty sleep. No, I've got to get up early tomorrow. I got plans for tomorrow, so I'm not going to do a Toby at 10. How much time could you guys tolerate me? For God's sakes, you just had me for 2 hours. Who wants to see me for another hour? Put somebody else go on for an hour for Toby at 10. Do a alternative to Toby at 10. Thanks for joining me. I really did have a good time tonight. It was a lot of fun. I love getting the phone calls. It's always a lot of fun. You guys have a good weekend. We will see you on Wednesday. And don't forget to visit the Sand channel, the World Sand Project channel, so that you can make a comment on today's show so that you can win this next Friday, okay? Love you guys. Have a great weekend.